All right, buckle up, everyone. Welcome to the Deep Dab. Today, we're going deep into the future, AI chatbots, GPT-5 specifically.
Sounds exciting.
It is, and the best part, we're not dealing with rumors or speculation. This is straight from the source. OpenAI and Sam Altman himself laying out their roadmap.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it's like those sci-fi movies, right? One AI does it all, questions, screenplays, even your taxes, that kind of future.
I mean, it's amazing how fast this field is moving.
It is, it is. And it seems OpenAI's realized something big. Raw power isn't everything if people can't actually use it.
Kind of like you have this super powerful sports car,
Yeah,
but it's only got one gear. What use is all that horsepower if you can't control it?
exactly. So how are they making GPT-5, this super AI, user-friendly?
They're tackling something we all face. Choice overload. Ever go to the store for jam?
Oh, yeah.
Too many choices, you end up not buying any. Same problem with AI models right now.
Huh. Analysis paralysis by jam.
Exactly. ChatGPT, right now, you pick between models, strengths, weaknesses. Confusing. OpenAI is realizing that simplicity is key for AI's potential.
So what's the solution? How do they simplify this mind-blowingly complex AI?
Unified intelligence, it's a big change. Instead of many separate models, they're building one system, interconnected models.
Wait, so no more choosing between models. Just interact with this one system.
That's the idea. And they're making a router LLM. It's like,
A traffic cop for AI?
yes, it analyzes your request and sends it to the best model. No more deciding for yourself.
So it's like having an AI assistant who knows the right tool for every job.
Exactly. And it's not just about convenience. This approach could be way more efficient. 85% cost reduction, some research says.
85%, that's massive. So users are happier, OpenAI saves money, win-win. But what about GPT-3? All those individual models, they just vanish.
It seems they're moving away from those, but there's one more coming, GPT 4.5 called Orion. It's the last one they'll train using their old methods.
So the last hurrah before unified intelligence takes over.
Exactly. Hard to say how it'll compare to Claude 3.5, Sonic. The competition might be better, but maybe not revolutionary. Seems like it was delayed too.
Oh, why?
Inference cost. Basically, running it was too expensive.
Ah, the economics of AI, always a factor. But if GPT 4.5 was already hitting cost limits, how can they afford this even more powerful GPT-5, especially if everyone's going to use it?
Tired access. Free users get GPT-5, but a standard intelligence level. Higher levels. Paid subscription.
So everyone gets a taste, but the premium experience costs extra. How much extra are we talking?
There's been talk of $200 per month for the top tier. Pretty steep for most people.
Yeah, that's more than my phone bill.
But they're betting GPT-5 will be so valuable, people will pay. More features coming too, voice interaction, visual tools, advanced research.
It's like they're building the ultimate digital Swiss Army knife. But speaking of mind-blowing, remember Sam Altman's statement? He doesn't think he'll be smarter than GPT-5. That's a lot to unpack.
It really makes you think, right? What happens when the creators of AI believe it might outsmart them?
That's getting into some deep existential territory.
Yeah, like what does it even mean to be human when AI is that powerful?
Okay, need a moment to process all this. Jan choices to AI overlords. All in a few minutes.
Take your time. It's a big shift we're talking about. Humans and technology, their whole relationship might change.
All right, I'm ready for more. What else is OpenAI cooking up for GPT-5?
Let's talk about the impact on different industries. It's not just a tech, it's how it changes the world.
I'm ready. Bring on the brave new world of GPT-5.
Let's start with healthcare. Imagine GPT-5 helping doctors analyze medical images, like way better than humans can.
So earlier diagnoses, more accurate, maybe even preventing some illnesses.
Exactly. And it's not just diagnosis. Personalized treatment plans based on your genes, lifestyle, everything.
It's like a team of the world's best doctors, creating a plan just for you. What about education? How does GPT-5 change learning?
Imagine struggling with a concept in math. GPT-5 becomes your 24/7 tutor, explains things differently until you get it, creates personalized practice problems.
So no more struggling alone. Students get the support they need no matter what.
Exactly, and it's not just for those struggling. It can challenge advanced students too, push them further.
Like a personalized AI tutor. That's revolutionary. What about creative fields? Artists, musicians, writers? How does GPT-5 help them?
Now this is where it gets really exciting. Imagine a musician composing a piece. GPT-5 generates melodies, harmonies, explores new sounds, even co-creates the whole thing.
So collaborating with AI to create things beyond human imagination.
Exactly. Writers too. Brainstorming ideas, developing characters, experimenting with styles. It's like having an AI muse.
This is incredible. The possibilities seem endless.
They really do. Finance, law, engineering, architecture, even space exploration. It's hard to overstate the potential impact.
GPT-5, the ultimate multi-tool. But with all this talk of revolutionizing industries, we need to be realistic. Not everyone's going to be thrilled, right?
That's true. This level of power comes with downsides. We've talked ethics, but there's also job displacement. What happens to people whose jobs AI can now do?
So for some, it's progress. For others, it's a threat. How do we balance those perspectives?
Thoughtful, empathetic approach is key. Open conversations about AI's impact on jobs, policies to support workers who might be displaced.
Since it's not just celebrating the good, but also preparing for the difficult parts.
Exactly. AI should empower humans, not replace them.
Back to Altman's statement for a second. When he said he might not be smarter than GPT-5, what do you think he meant?
It's like he's acknowledging we're entering a new era. AI might surpass us in some ways, makes you question what intelligence even is.
It really does.
But remember, intelligence isn't just one thing. Humans and AI are good at different things.
So not a competition, more like finding ways to combine our strengths.
Exactly. Humans and AI, partners, solving problems, creating incredible things.
I like that vision, but we're still in the early stages. So much is unknown about how AI will develop, what the impact will be.
True. But that's what makes it exciting. We're exploring uncharted territory. If we do it with curiosity, creativity, and a willingness to learn, AI can make our lives better in countless ways.
Okay, feeling more optimistic now. What can our listeners do to prepare for this future, to stay ahead of the curve?
Stay informed, read, listen to podcasts, go to webinars, engage in discussions about AI ethics and impact.
Knowledge is power.
Absolutely. And don't just be a spectator. Play around with ChatGPT, try AI apps, get a feel for how it works.
So embrace it, experiment, keep learning. That's a good advice for any big change, really.
You're right. Be adaptable, embrace change, see the potential.
Love that. Listeners, don't be intimidated by AI. Be curious, be engaged, help shape the future.
It's not just watching it happen. It's being part of creating the future you want.
Let's create a future where AI empowers us, inspires us, builds a better world for everyone.
To a future full of possibilities. Now, let's get into OpenAI's plans for pricing and access to GPT-5.
Yeah, let's talk about the cost of this revolution. What do we know?
Tier access is the plan. Good news is there's a free tier. Everyone gets to experience GPT-5.
That's fantastic. Everyone gets to benefit, not just those who can afford it. But what are the limitations on the free tier?
Unlimited access, but at the standard intelligence level from when we know.
So a taste, not the full meal. What about the paid tiers? What perks do those offer?
Things get really interesting there. Higher intelligence levels, more processing power, faster responses, maybe even access to specialized models.
Like choosing between the base model of a car and the one with all the bells and whistles?
Exactly. Some rumors even suggest the top tier will have features we haven't even heard of yet. Real-time collaboration, training GPT-5 on your own data, even personalized AI avatars.
Whoa, personalized AI avatars. That's straight out of sci-fi. But let's be real, how much will all this cost? This can't be a cheap Netflix subscription.
It's rumored to be around $200 per month for the top tier, a serious investment, especially for individuals.
$200 a month, that's more than most people's phone bill. Is it worth it?
That's the question, isn't it? Depends how valuable those features are to you. For businesses relying on AI, it might be a no-brainer. Casual users, tougher call.
Like anything, weigh the cost and benefits. If GPT-5 truly revolutionizes how you work, learn, create, maybe that price is reasonable.
Right. OpenAI is a business and they need to make money to keep developing this technology.
Of course, they're not a charity. But it does make you think about the digital divide. If the best AI tools are only for those who can afford them, the gap between the haves and have-nots could widen.
Absolutely. Governments and policymakers need to be thinking about how to ensure equitable access to AI so everyone benefits.
A complex issue? No easy answers. But important we have these conversations. We need to approach this AI era with both excitement and caution.
Well said, and I think that's a good place to wrap up this part of our deep dive.
It's been fascinating so far, and I have a feeling this is only the beginning.
So much more to explore as AI continues to evolve. Stay tuned, we'll be back soon to delve deeper into the implications of this technology.
We'll be right back after a quick break to discuss what Sam Altman's statement about potentially not being smarter than GPT-5 could mean for the future of humanity. Stay with us.
So we've talked big picture, GPT-5, unified intelligence, the cost savings, GPT 4.5's last stand. But let's get specific. What does this mean for you for everyday life?
Yeah, the real-world impact. That's what I want to know.
Okay, one area where GPT-5 could be huge. Healthcare. Imagine doctors using GPT-5 to analyze medical images.
Like X-rays, scans.
Exactly. Way more accurate than humans, even the best radiologists.
So we're talking catching diseases earlier, more accurate diagnoses, maybe even preventing some illnesses?
Exactly. And it's not just about diagnosis. Imagine personalized treatment plans based on your genes, your lifestyle, everything.
It's like your own personal team of top doctors figuring out exactly what you need.
Right. Now, what about education? How does GPT-5 change how we learn?
Interesting. What are you thinking?
Imagine you're a student struggling with some math concept. GPT-5 is your tutor, available 24/7, explains things in different ways until you get it, even creates practice problems just for you.
So no more feeling lost and frustrated. You get the support you need to succeed no matter what.
Exactly. And it's not just for those struggling. GPT-5 can challenge advanced students too, help them reach their full potential.
So it's like a personalized AI tutor for every student. That would be revolutionary. What about creative fields? Artists, musicians, writers, how does GPT-5 help them?
This is where it gets really fascinating. Imagine a musician working on a new song. GPT-5 helps them explore melodies, harmonies, new sounds, maybe even co-creates the whole piece.
Wow, so it's like AI and humans creating together, pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Exactly. And it's the same for writers. Brainstorming, character development, even different writing styles. It's like an AI muse helping you unleash your creativity.
These possibilities are mind-blowing. It seems like the applications are limitless.
They really are. Think about finance, law, engineering, architecture, even space exploration. It's hard to overstate how much this could change things.
GPT-5, the ultimate tool for almost any job you can imagine. But with all this talk of revolutionizing industries, we need to be realistic. Not everyone is going to be happy about this, right?
You're right. This kind of power, it comes with downsides. We talked about the ethical concerns, but there's also the impact on jobs. What happens to the people whose jobs AI can now do?
So some see progress, others see a threat. How do we navigate that, those two very different viewpoints?
I think the key is to be thoughtful, to be empathetic. We need to talk openly and honestly about how AI will affect jobs, and we need to create policies and programs to support those who might be displaced.
So it's not just about celebrating the amazing potential of AI, but also about mitigating the risks, making sure everyone benefits.
Exactly. We want AI to empower humans, not replace them.
Let's go back to Altman's statement for a minute, the one about GPT-5 potentially being smarter than him. What do you think he really meant by that?
It's a profound statement. It makes you think about what it means to be intelligent. It challenges our assumptions.
It really does. Makes you wonder, if the people creating AI believe it might surpass them, where does that leave us?
But intelligence, it's not just one thing. Humans and AI, we're good at different things.
Right. So it's not about one being better. It's about finding ways to combine our strengths, right?
Exactly. Imagine humans and AI working together as partners, each contributing their unique abilities, solving problems, creating amazing things.
I like that. Humans and AI on the same team. But we're still early in this journey. There's so much we don't know about how AI will develop, what the impact will truly be.
That's true. It's what makes it so exciting. We're exploring uncharted territory. But if we do it with curiosity, with creativity, with a willingness to learn from each other, AI has the potential to change our lives for the better.
Okay, I'm feeling a bit more optimistic now. But what about our listeners who are still feeling nervous about all this? What advice would you give them?
Don't be afraid. Don't let fear stop you. Embrace the challenge, see the potential, and get involved. Learn about AI, experiment with it, talk about it. How can we shape it to benefit humanity?
So it's not about being passive observers. It's about actively shaping how AI develops, making sure it aligns with our values.
Exactly. The future isn't something that just happens. It's something we create.
That's a good reminder. So listeners, don't be intimidated by AI. Be curious, be engaged, and be ready to help shape the future.
The future is out there waiting to be created, and those who are willing to imagine it, to explore it, they'll be the one who shape it.
Love that. So let's all be a part of creating a future where AI helps us, inspires us, and makes the world a better place.
To a future full of possibility. Now, let's get into the specifics of how OpenAI plans to price and provide access to GPT-5. This is a topic that's generating a lot of discussion, and for good reason.
Yeah, let's talk about the costs of this AI revolution. What do we know so far?
Well, as we mentioned earlier, they're planning a tiered access system. But the good news is there will be a free tier. Everyone will get to experience GPT-5.
That's fantastic. I love that. Even if you can't afford a fancy subscription, you can still see what GPT-5 is all about. But what about limitations? What can you do with the free tier?
From what we understand, you'll have unlimited access, but it will be at what they're calling the standard intelligence level.
So you get a taste, but maybe not the whole enchilada. What about the paid tiers? What do you get if you're willing to pay for the premium experience?
That's where things get really interesting. The paid tiers unlock higher levels of intelligence, more processing power, faster responses, and potentially even access to specialized models. Like if you need GPT-5 for writing code or for creating art, there might be a specific model for that.
So it's like choosing a car. You can get the basic model, or you can go all out, leather seats, turbocharged engine, the works.
Exactly. And there are rumors that the top tier, it might even have features we haven't even heard of yet. Things like real-time collaboration on projects, the ability to train GPT-5 on your own data, maybe even personalized AI avatars that can interact with the world for you.
Wait, hold on. Personalized AI avatars? That sounds like something straight out of a movie.
I know, right? It's getting pretty wild. But let's be realistic for a second. How much is all this going to cost? Because something tells me we're not talking about a cheap monthly subscription here.
Yeah, I have a feeling this is going to be a bit more than Netflix.
Well, the rumor is that the highest tier, it could be around $200 per month.
$200 a month. That's more than a lot of people spend on their phone bill. Is it really worth that much?
That's the big question, isn't it? It depends on how much value you see in those features. For businesses, for professionals who rely on AI tools, it might be a no-brainer. But for the average person, it's a tougher decision.
It's like anything else, you have to weigh the cost and the benefits. If GPT-5 can truly change how you work, how you learn, how you create, maybe that price tag starts to look a little more reasonable.
Right, and we have to remember OpenAI is a business. They need to make money to keep developing this technology, to keep pushing the boundaries.
Of course, it's not a charity. They have investors, they have bills to pay. But it does make you think about the potential for a digital divide. What happens if only the wealthy can afford the best AI tools? Does that create an even bigger gap between the haves and the have-nots?
That's a really important point. If access to powerful AI is limited to those who can afford it, we could see an even wider gap in terms of knowledge, skills, economic opportunities.
So it's not just about celebrating the amazing things AI can do, it's also about making sure those benefits are shared, that everyone has a chance to participate in this new world.
I completely agree. And this is where government and policymakers come in. They need to be thinking about how to create policies that promote equitable access to AI, that make sure everyone can benefit.
It's a complex issue, no easy answers, but it's a conversation we need to be having. As we move into this new era of AI, we need to approach it with both excitement and caution. We need to think about the possibilities, but also the potential pitfalls.
I think that's a great point to end on.
Okay, we're back. And wow, a lot to think about after that GPT-5 deep dive. Healthcare, art, revolutionizing industries, it's a lot.
It is. And remember, we barely scratched the surface. Plus, those economic complications, the potential to reshape everything, it's huge.
Right. And the biggest question, the one everyone's asking is, what does all this mean for us humans? Especially after Sam Altman's comment about GPT-5 potentially being smarter than him.
Makes you think, doesn't it? Like, we've always thought of ourselves, humans, as the most intelligent. What happens when that might not be true anymore?
Yeah, AI being smarter, it is a little unsettling, I gotta admit. But you said before that intelligence, it's not just one thing, right?
Exactly. We often think of intelligence as like one measurable thing, but it's not. It's so many different abilities.
Okay, I see what you mean. Like you could be amazing at math, but terrible at writing poems.
Exactly. Someone else might be incredibly empathetic, understand people really well, but struggle with logic puzzles. Different strengths.
So AI might be great at data, patterns, all that. But humans, we're still better at creativity, empathy, critical thinking, that kind of stuff.
Exactly. It's not about one being better, it's recognizing they're different. Different types of intelligence, each with its own strengths.
So instead of seeing AI as a threat to how smart we are, maybe it's more like a partner. AI does what it's good at. Humans focus on what we're good at.
I like that. Finding a balance, a synergy, human and AI strengths combined to create something really amazing.
That's a much better way to look at it. Makes me feel more optimistic. But still going to think about jobs, right? If AI takes over more tasks, what happens to all the human workers?
Definitely a valid concern. We need to talk about this seriously. Some jobs will likely be automated, yes. But new technology, it often creates new jobs too.
Like back when the internet first started, nobody could have predicted all the jobs that would come from it.
Exactly. Web developers, social media managers, all those jobs didn't even exist before. It's not just about jobs disappearing. It's about jobs changing.
So less about fear of being replaced, more about adapting, learning new skills.
That's it. That's something we can all do, no matter what we do for work, how old we are. Stay curious, keep learning. That's how you thrive when things are changing fast.
Okay, I'm feeling better about this future we're heading towards. But for our listeners who are still nervous, any advice?
Don't let fear freeze you. Embrace the challenge, see the potential, and get involved. Learn about AI, try out the tools, join the conversation. How do we shape this so it benefits all of us?
I love that. It's not sitting back and watching. It's about shaping AI's development, making sure it reflects our values.
Right. We decide what the future looks like. It's not set in stone.
Okay, I think we've given everyone a lot to think about today. The tech side of GPT-5, what it can do, how it could change industries, even the big philosophical questions about intelligence and humanity's future.
It's been a really interesting deep dive. Hopefully, everyone listening feels more informed, maybe even inspired. and ready to be part of this conversation about AI's future.
Absolutely. So, listeners, stay curious, stay engaged, and join us next time for another deep dive into the world of tech.
Until then, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep asking those tough questions. The future needs people who are willing to imagine it.
Couldn't have said it better myself. We'll see you all in the next episode.